Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to tackle a topic that, let's be honest, can feel like a total maze. Graphic design pricing right here in South Africa. So if you've ever stared at a design quote feeling completely stumped, you are exactly where you need to be. We're going to turn that confusion into confidence. You know that feeling, right? You get a price list, you look at it, and you have absolutely no idea what you're actually paying for. It's a super common hurdle. But trust me, by the end of this, you'll be navigating those quotes like a total pro. All right, so here's the game plan for today. First, we'll crack open that price mystery. Then, we'll break down the 4 key things that actually determine the cost. After that, we'll peek at some typical essay prices, compare the different ways designers charge, and wrap it all up with some solid tips on how to hire smart. Okay, first up, the graphic design price mystery. Look, it's so easy to get lost in this sea of industry jargon and prices that seem to go all over the place. But don't you worry, we're about to make it all crystal clear. All right, let's get to the heart of it. Because to really understand any price list, you've got to know what goes into it. And it usually boils down to 4 key factors that shape pretty much every single quote you'll ever see. Okay, so what are you actually paying for? First up, the nature of the project. I mean, designing a simple logo is a completely different ballgame from building a massive e-commerce website, right? Second, the designer's experience. A seasoned pro with a killer portfolio is obviously going to charge more than someone who just graduated. That makes sense. Third, complexity. Is this a project that needs a ton of deep research and custom illustrations, or is it a more straightforward template-based job? Big difference. And lastly, size. A single flyer versus a 50-page company profile, you get the picture. More work simply costs more. All right, I know this is the part you've been waiting for. Let's talk actual numbers. Now, just remember, these are typical ranges. The final price tag is always going to depend on those 4 factors we just talked about. So just to get us started, here's a real tangible number for you. You can often get a simple, clean business card designed for around 500 Rand. Think of this as your baseline for a small, pretty straightforward kind of project. Now have a look at the range here. It's pretty wide. A logo? That can be anything from 1,000 Rand to well over 5,000. A brochure might be 2,000 or it could be 10,000. And a website? Whoa, that can jump from 10,000 to over 50,000 Rand and even higher. This really shows you how project complexity and size are massive drivers of the final cost. So the question is, how do designers actually put these costs together? Well, they generally use one of 2 main models, and understanding the difference between them is absolutely crucial for managing your budget and, your expectations. So on one side, you've got the hourly rate. The best way to think about this is like a taxi meter. It's super flexible, which is great for projects where you don't really have the full scope defined yet, but you don't know the final cost till the ride is over. Then on the other side, you've got a project-based fee. This is more like buying a plane ticket. You get that cost certainty right up front, which is fantastic for budgeting. The downside, it's less flexible if you suddenly need to make big changes halfway through. Okay, so picking the right pricing model is one piece of the puzzle, but really it's all tied to finding the right designer in the first place. So now that you're armed with all this pricing knowledge, how do you actually go out and find the perfect person for your project? Let's dive into the practical steps of hiring smart. Here is your go-to checklist. First, do your research. Find people who specialize in your industry. Next, ask around. Don't ever underestimate the power of a good referral from your network. Then, dig into online reviews and see what past clients are saying. And this is a big one. Always schedule a consultation before you commit to anything. Okay, so you've scheduled that consultation. Now what? This is your moment to really vet them properly. Seriously, don't be shy. Asking the right questions right now can save you a massive headache down the line. First question, and it's a big one. See, you're not just hiring a pair of hands to use some software. You're hiring a strategic partner. You need to know if they get your world and your customers. Their answer here tells you if they can create something that actually connects with people. Next, you want to dig into their actual process. A designer with a clear, well-defined process is a good sign. It means fewer nasty surprises for you. You want to know exactly how they work, from start to finish, and how many rounds of revisions are included. And then, of course, the all-important timing question. This isn't just about hitting your deadline. It's about seeing if they are professional, if they can manage their time well, and if they can handle a project like yours effectively. And finally, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable, ask for a detailed breakdown of the fee. If you just get a single lump sum with no details, that's a red flag. A true professional will have no problem being transparent and showing you exactly where every rand is going. And while you're at it, please be on the lookout for these major red flags. A portfolio that looks weak or is totally irrelevant to your needs, that's a warning. Promises that sound way too good to be true, they probably are. And remember this, if their communication is bad before you've paid them, just imagine what it'll be like once they have your money. So this brings us to the most crucial point of all. It's not just about the price tag, it is all about value. Think about it. A cheap R500 logo that doesn't actually connect with your audience, that's just wasted money. But an R5000 logo from a pro who gets it, that can build brand trust, attract the right customers, and actually drive sales. See, that's not an expense, that is an investment in the future of your business. And this quote from Mzansi magazine just nails it, really. Don't let price be the only thing that you think about. The value that a designer adds to your project is just as important. That right there, that is the mindset you need to build a strong, successful brand. So there you have it. You are now officially equipped with the knowledge you need to navigate the world of graphic design pricing right here in SA. The only question left is, with all this newfound clarity, what awesome project are you ready to confidently bring to life?